So Superman and Lois continues on with all is lost. Oh boy, what could that refer to? Well, it's actually quite simple. But the show opens up and they're dealing with the aftermath of Lana having learned Clark's secret, and there's problems with Sarah. Then the ongoing Smallville soap opera that's going on with her ex-husband, Sarah trying to keep it all together, going back and forth between her parents and all that. Jordan comes to terms with he's got to keep it quiet for Sarah's sake and think about her, not his own desires and whatnot. And he gets a pretty good training session with Superman. He finally learns how to fly, and it's a pretty good scene that they do with that. Allie is still a threat, and we get some flashback scenes about her luring in Lucy. That seemed pretty innocent enough at the time, but of course, well, it wasn't. So Lois and Sam Lane decide to go try to rescue Lucy, and this ultimately ends them in a confrontation with Allie. She shows up, and apparently this was a bit much that as long as she accumulates enough power, she's going to try to force the two Earths to merge into one. I just don't think she would be powerful enough to do that, but she keeps absorbing other people's life forces. And how many other people has she done this to? I don't know. She did do it to her version of Fowl, the Morgan Edge character. And so now she wants to steal from Superman. And so they actually do call her, well, she's like a parasite. And so that's what they're taking it from. Of course, the parasite villain in the comics was male. And that's basically what he would do. He would, suck off the life force of other people. Well, not suck off, not like that, but would absorb it. If he did it too much, then you would die. Some people just went into comas and stuff like that. He could absorb their memories and stuff like that too, I believe. But particularly for Superman, he could drain off Superman's powers, and he would have Superman's powers for a while. And so, in their roundabout way yet again, and how they've done their own versions from different angles and what have you of these Superman characters, that's what they've done here with Allie. And so it's very, very far removed from the original, even more so than perhaps, Bizarro was pretty far removed as well. But they already showed that the alter Earth of the Bizarro world is a square. So I'm not sure. Because at least the doubles, they look alike, but the planets don't, and she's going to merge them. But just accumulating the powers of Superman and his brother, I don't know, but I guess if she got enough of it and then as much of the population. Anyway, that's what they're doing. She's trying to draw the two worlds into one. That's her crazy plan. She doesn't have the pendant anymore. It's been destroyed, so she's just going to do it through her own power. But she's just she's just a parasite now, and I don't know if they'll end it where she ends up all scarred and purple looking like the original parasite, and that's what they'll do and lock her up at the military base or something. I don't know, and all is lost. Well, that's what happens. She lures Superman by attacking Sam Lane, and Superman shows up, and she starts draining off all his power. And Steel shows up, and now he's got his daughter in her suit. They have a back and forth with them where he doesn't want her getting involved in all of this, and yet it proves the point that her suit is practically indestructible, and it's using XK in it and all this sort of stuff. And so she ends up being a good partner for him. They team up to go take on Allie, but she's so powerful she just knocks Steel away. I guess her draining power thingy wouldn't penetrate his armor, so he probably is safe while he's in that. But ultimately Superman dies, and then Natalie's got to shock him back. So she does several times, and it gets a rhythm. Steel picks him up and is carrying him off to a hospital, but I would have thought at the time anyway that it would have been best for him to go into the atmosphere and let him absorb the solar radiation, would restore his powers. But they've set it up and left it that he's now a normal human being, and they don't know that he'll ever get his powers back. So through the absorption of what Allie has done, but in at least the comic book narrative, eventually his powers would restore, but it would take a while. And I'm guessing that's what they'll do eventually. But for right now, he's not going to have any powers. And it's an interesting thing because they were showing there's a bit of a jealousy developing with Jonathan that he sort of left out with what's going on with Jordan and Clark. They're having their father-son moments, but Jordan is more like Clark is because he has the powers. And so Jonathan's feeling left out and all that sort of stuff. But now that Clark's not going to have any powers and he's not going to be used to being someone with no powers, they might do the reversal where now Jonathan has to help him out. Something like that. Just my guess. But so now you understand what it's like not to have powers. And so they end it with Allie going in some dimensional space or what have you in between the two worlds and acting like she's going to merge them together and all that. So they're like, we need Superman. They're going to have to figure out how to jumpstart his powers back, but ultimately they'll probably depend on Jordan and then he might have to go get his Uncle Thal to help out as well. And who knows, haven't heard anything that they might get Melissa Benoist to come back and reprise her Supergirl role, and because they pretty much kept it at a very, very minimum of any mention of the other CW universe shows for this Superman. I mean, it's almost like this is an alternate Superman, even from the Supergirl show. And the costume was different and everything. So, but then again, what's his name? John Diggle showed up. So, but then again, he could just be an alternate version of him. He should have been as Green Lantern, but yeah, I think that was a mistake. But whatever, they didn't do it. So it's good. It's good. It was pretty heavy on just the relationship storylines and whatever, but then they give you this cliffhanger deal, and then of course the training session for Jordan and all that was pretty good. So there you go, another fine episode of Superman and Lois.